you opened any of the new set yet? Collection. Thanks. Yeah, 150 of the new set. Should be pretty good. Could be pretty good. You did open 170 packs from last stream, but it kept freezing on Twitch. Ah, sorry to hear about that, man. Alright, see, first pack magic. Get a Giratina. Gardevoir? Mimikyu? Nice, nice. The Mimikyu is actually pretty solid. Really good for Gym Leader Challenge. Worst gift, 10 damage for each damage counter on all of your opponent's Pokemon. And scale it up pretty quickly. And Radiant Gardevoir being able to take 20 less from your Pokemon, or your opponent's Pokemon V. Very solid. I played in Goodra deck the other day. It's a little bit nutty. You've opened more than 300 Lost Origin. Wow. Going in big, man. Hoopa? It's kind of meh. There's a lot of filler cards in this set, which not super happy with, but there's also a lot of really cool concepts, like the Horsey Seadra in this set. Sweet. Lost City, whenever a Pokemon gets knocked out, yours or your opponent's, it goes into Lost Zone instead of the discard pile. Radiant Steelix. And the Goodra. Man, we're on a pretty solid start here. Also Gift Energy, essentially Lucky Egg, but as a energy attachment. You get knocked out, draw cards till you have 7 in hand. You've totaled 8 Giratina Vstar, 3 Tina V, 4 Full Art Baros, and 2 Full Art Colress. That's nuts, man. Speaking of Colress, we just pulled one here. Mime and Honchkrow. Aura's pretty sweet. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck, put 3 of them into your hand, the other 2 into the Lost Zone. And Thorton, similar to Nanu, except it's not limited to dark types, so choose basic Pokemon from your discard pile, switch it with one of your basic Pokemon in play. Keeps all cards attached, damage counters, special conditions, so you can cheat things out like Regigigas. Put a bunch of energy onto it, switch it out into, you know, amazing rare retro. Another Steelix. Alright, well, we already doubled up on the Steelix, so anyone in chat needs one, let me know. Just gonna be Lurkin B Sharp? All good, man. Ooh. Trainer Gallery Centiskorch. And Enamorous V. Prevent all effects of your opponent's Pokemon abilities done to each of your Pokemon that has any psychic energy attached to it, except the Enamorous. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Blocks the Umbreon VMAX from gusting you out, I guess. Another Radiant Gardevoir. And Full Art Pidgeot V. Nice. Vanishing Wings. Once during your turn, if this is on your bench, you can shuffle it back into your deck and all the cards that are attached to it. And it has the attack Flight Surf, so 80 damage. If you've got a Stadium card in play, another 80, so 160. Give it like Giant Cape. Alright, not Giant Cape. Cape of Toughness. Put it up to 260. It's kind of chunky. Eat some hits and just bounce it back into the deck. Really hoping for the Goodra line though. Trainer Gallery Cast Form. Looks pretty good. Yeah, I think I'm probably going to be opening these pretty quick since we did do the actual pack openings a few days ago. PTCGO. We ripped through them a little faster. Another Gift Energy. Rhyperior. Alright, what do these guys do? Misfortune Sisters. Look at the top 5 cards of your opponent's deck. Discard any number of item cards there. And Arc Phone. Look at the top card of your deck. You can switch it with one of your face down prize cards. Kinda cool. I wonder with Arc Phone if we're going to be getting more kind of like shenanigan things for taking them from prizes. Like we have Dream Ball already, and we've got Gift Energy, but if you take them as a prize, you can accelerate them out or get a Pokemon from your deck. Another Thorton, another Colress. You built the Chupacabra. What's the Chupacabra deck? Oh, Zoroark. Zoroark's pretty fun. Haven't got to play it yet, but Antina. During your opponent's next turn, all of your Pokemon take 120 less damage from attacks from your opponent's Pokemon V, but you need 10 cards in the Blossom. I can't say I've heard Zoroark referred to as a Chupacabra, but I like it. And yeah, I've actually got the physical cards of it. Not all of them just yet, but it's definitely one of the decks I'll be building for actual tournaments. Got one here. And then the Vstars are somewhere. That's just one I traded for at League the other day. I wish this Politoed was going to be good. Double colorless, Lordly Song Leader, 10 damage. If you've got Poliwag, 60 more. If you've got Poliwhirl on your bench, 90 more. Poliwrath on your bench, 120 more. So it does 280 for double colorless, and you need a ridiculous amount of things kind of set up. Oh yeah, I got the Pokemon community game set up for the stream. So if you play that, feel free to jump in. Looks like a Slugma's popped up. Oh, we finally got the Finneon. I'm actually pretty hyped for this card. So Finneon, Oceanic Accompaniment. As often as you like during your turn, you can attach a water energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon that has Swim Freely. So sort of like Frostmoth, except not limited to the bench, and it's on a basic. Obviously, they have to have the Swim Freely attack, but there's some pretty cool attackers that do have it. One being Seadra, that I've got a deck ready to go if we pull all the Finneons. Because you can essentially accelerate as many energy out to the Seadra as you want. Oh, also the Dugong has Swim Freely and Flow Return, so 40 damage. Shuffle is 40 damage for each water energy from your Pokemon as you like. You can shuffle them back into your deck, and it does 40 for each one that you choose to, so it scales up pretty quickly. But the one I'm actually excited for is the Kingdra from Battle Styles that does 40 damage for each water energy attached to it. And if one of your Pokemon is knocked out, you can move any water energy you want to the Kingdra. So essentially just keep chaining the Kingdras into each other. Get one Seadra set up early with a bunch of energy. It can snipe things for 20 damage for each water energy on it. If your opponent knocks it out, just have the Kingdra on your bench, move all that energy there, and then just repeatedly fire away. Alright, we've got Clefairy. So Moon Watching Party. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon's in the active, you can search your deck for each one of your bench Clefairy and attach a Psychic Energy card to those guys. So you can be chaining these, have 4 in play, bounce them all around, accelerate out, what is that, 12 energy in a turn, and then the attack does 20 damage for each Psychic Energy attached to all of your Pokemon. So in one turn you can be getting up to 240. If you're using Scoop Up Nets, potentially higher than that. And if you got Weirdeer, you just pop it in the active, move all that energy onto it, and I think it's 40 damage for each. Scales up pretty readily. On the Comfy. So Comfy, it's sort of similar to Acrobike if you played when that was around. If this is in the active, look at the top 2 cards of your deck. You get to put one of them into your hand, but then the other one goes into the Lost Zone. So a bit of a double-edged sword, but it does set up the Lost Zone engine. So there's a Mirage Gate that if you have 7 things in the Lost Zone, you can search your deck. Speaking of, you have 7 or more cards in the Lost Zone, search your deck for up to 2 basic energy cards of different types and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like, then shuffle your deck. So it really helps out with Dragon Pokemon that have those various energy types for their attacks. Oh, and another full art Pidgeot V. So things like Goodra, Giratina, Duraludon that are needing like Fighting and Steel, Steel and Water. You can be searching your deck for those different energy types, charging them up. pretty busted. I want to like that Giratina. I feel like it could see play in GLC. Another Pidgeot. Can we see a different V, please? Like almost out of playset out of it already. The net's pretty sick. Essentially has VS Seeker as an ability, so once during your turn, you may put a supporter card from your discard pile into your hand. If you do, put this Pokemon in the Lost Zone. So you'd be putting the Banette and the Shuppet in the Lost Zone. Gets 2 in there, helps set up the like Mirage Gates and things like that. Hey, Fortitude! Yeah, it's been a bit, man. It's been a bit. I think it's a month and a half since I streamed last. I just got back from Canada on Thursday, so still kind of getting over the jet lag. Oh, that's a hit. Full art Charizard got Battle Sense, so we can maybe bling out the Leon's art deck. Royal Blaze, 100 damage, 50 more for each Leon card in your discard pile. If you've been around my stream before, you're very familiar with this card. And actually, yeah, I got a deck video on YouTube if you guys want to check it out and haven't seen it before. And then the Cramorant, Lost Provision. Yeah, can't speak. Lost Provisions. You have 4 cards in the Lost Zone. Ignore all energy in this Pokemon's attack costs and spitting innocently 110 damage. Isn't affected by weakness, so you're not going to be hitting 220 on any fire types, but still 110 for free. Not bad. Yeah, how you been, Fortitude? You ripped any of the new Lost Origin packs yet? Another Comfy? Alright, I think we're halfway to a playset now. Glastrier. Freeze down, 40 damage. The defending Pokemon is a basic. It can't attack during your opponent's next turn. This could also be pretty good for GLC, I'm thinking. Open about 50 lock packs and not a single V. Sorry. All I'm really seeing is Pidgeot Vs. So if you want one of them, let me know. I think I've got 2 full art Pidgeots and a regular so far. Yeah, we're about 30 packs in now. That's a hit. All right. I'm happy with this. Giratina Vstar, Lost Impact, 280 damage. Put 2 energy attached to this Pokemon in the Lost Zone. And then Star Power for Grass and a Psychic Energy, Star Requiem. You can use this attack only if you have 10 or more cards in the Lost Zone. Your opponent's active Pokemon is knocked out. So just straight up, just dead. It is an effect of the attack though, so the kind of risky thing is, I'm pretty sure Giant Parasol blocks this. The only Pokemon I want to try and get from Lost Origins is Goodra. I like the Giratina, but other than that, I don't like it. Giratina Vstar is sick. Yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with getting this. And the Goodra is real fun. I played it at League yesterday. I don't know if you follow me on Twitter. I posted it as I went and I have the deck list on there. Definitely be one of the first decks I'll try and build online. Trevenant, Elder Tree Barrier. If this Pokemon is knocked out by damage from your opponent's Pokemon V, they don't take a prize card. I kind of like the idea of this. And you can combo it with, there's a Kamala that's like, if it's asleep and is knocked out, your opponent doesn't take prizes. So you just like have both of these and it's like, yeah, you can knock me out, but you're not going to get anything for it. Now you don't have it, but you can drop a follow. Yeah, my Twitter is, I think it's BBTCG. I'll link all my socials in the chat for you right now. I thought I had a thing for this. Unless I'm just not spelling it right. Give me 2 seconds, we'll double check this. see. Not sure why that command's not working. It's really weird. You found me? Perfect. But yeah, I've got the deck list on there, so if you're looking for one, have at it. Should be probably making a video for it in the next like 2-3 days though. It's definitely one of the ones I'll be getting to quick. And like I have the Aegis/VMAX in it, which came pretty clutch because like you take 4 prizes and then you can be one-shotting V-stars. Berserker V, feeling fine. Solid name for an attack. Draw 3 cards, and then Treasure Rush, 20 damage, 20 for each card in your hand. Kind of cool. The fact that you need essentially 14 cards in your hand to be one-shotting a V-star though is a little bit of an ask. But if you can pull it off, sweet. Get 20, do 400. Another Goodra, alright. Just need 2 V-stars and I'm good to go. Oh, I've got the Seadra finally. This guy I'm very excited for. So it's got Swim Freely, you can accelerate energy out with Finneon, and then Hydrojet, 20 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon for each water energy attached to this. So if you can accelerate out, what, like 10, 11, you can be sniping a V off the bench, or just be taking single prizers for a lot less. But the idea I've got for this is you run it with the Kingdra from Battle Styles. So you have this in the active, rare candy up a Horsey on the bench into a Kingdra. The Seadra's got sniping potential and is just hitting things, so your opponent will likely try to knock this out. If they do, you move all the energy onto the Kingdra. If they don't, if they're like, oh, well, I see that Kingdra, I want to gust that up and kill it, then it's like, okay, it's next turn, I'll just evolve this Seadra and I'm in the same position. So, I think that's the deck I'm going to be running after we finish these packs. Arezu essentially has Grass Knot, so 10 damage, 30 damage for each colorless in your opponent's retreat cost. And the Spirit Tome. First message, if this Pokemon's knocked out by damage from an attack, you get to search your deck for any card and put it in your hand. And then it has the attack Change Spirit, so double colorless, double dark, 10 damage, 60 more damage for each Spirit Tome in your discard pile. So it's another pretty solid attacker you can do with Ditto. So if you got 4 Spirit Tome in the discard, 240, 250, attach Choice Belt, you're doing 280 and knocking out V-stars. We got another one. Nice. I think we got the Trainer Gallery one earlier too. I kind of skimmed over it, sorry. I like that they gave this guy a full art. He's pretty sick. So a single strike Banette has Resolute Spite, 20 damage, well, multiplied by 20, put up to 7 damage counters on this Pokemon, does 20 damage for each damage counter you placed in this way. It's pretty cool. And the fact that it's single strike, so you can add a single strike energy to it and scale it up. The thing I really like about that is it's got 80 HP, you can put 7 damage counters on it, and then the following turn, do it again, and just like overkill itself. The full art Berserker V. You did get Adventurer's Discovery full art? That's solid, man. That is very solid. I like getting the full art trainers. I wasn't a big fan of them, but for getting them online, I like it. In real life, they cost a little bit too much money when I can get a 50-cent version. And like, it's just for playability. But online, it's like, yeah, I got some spare packs, or if you pull one from a locked pack, like, absolutely. Alright, what do we got here? Panic Mask. So prevent all damage done to this Pokemon from your opponent's Pokemon that have 40 HP or less remaining. So kind of like Blizzard Town, but as a tool. And then Chandelier. mountain roasting. When you evolve into this Pokemon, you get to mill the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck. I really hope nobody comes up with a good deck for this. Like, I love Chandler, but I just realized too, my camera's kind of covering the good pulls. Sorry about that. Let's slide this up here. Do that. Yeah, I don't want Mill to become relevant. You're making a deck with Mewtwo V Union and Panic Mask. That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. Ooh. You're a VMAX. We take it. So Glaciated World. Once during your turn, you can discard the top card of your deck. If it's a water energy, attach it to one of your Pokemon. So can combo it with a Rangaroo pretty nicely. And then Max Frost for 3 water energy, 120 damage. You can discard any amount of water energy from this Pokemon and does 50 more damage for each card you discarded in this way. So it caps out at what, 270? By Choice Belt, 300. If you want to run it with Blastoise to be taking out VMAXs, up into 320, or Leons will do it too. So it's gonna do Unfazed Fat, prevent all effects attacks from your opponent's Pokemon done to this Pokemon. That's cool. And then Thumping Snore, triple colorless, 180. Pokemon's now asleep. During Pokemon checkup, flip 2 coins instead of 1. And then if either's tails, it's still asleep. So you give it that, why can't I think what it's called? But there's like a tool card in this set, so that even if it's asleep, this one, why not? The Pokemon this card's attached to can attack even if it's asleep or paralyzed. I'm curious, how's Mewtwo V Union with Panic Mask? Like, have you given it a go? Or are you still kind of like just theory crafting it? Alright, so Lakeosity. All of your Pokemon that have water or fighting energy attached, well, all Pokemon, yours and your opponents, take 20 less from attacks. And then Volo. Interested to see if this card will come up. I feel like it would be a good one-off in a lot of decks, because you get to discard one of your bench Pokemon V and all attached cards. So if you got things that are just tanking, like Goodra for example, if it gets pretty high damage and you don't have Fantina or a way to heal, you could just Volo, get it out of there, and you don't have to worry about your opponent like chucking some damage counters on and knocking it out. Figured just put damage counters everywhere instead of killing them, put them to 40 HP, making them unable to do damage towards me, and since nobody plays any heals unless you play Stonejourner / Dracozolt. Yeah, that's not a bad call. You're building one as we speak, just got the last cards you needed. Oh. Like, I could definitely see that working, and then you're just kind of waiting until you have all your prizes lined up that you need. And just do, like, put damage counters around and finish them all off. Like, if they're at 40 HP and it's like, oh, well, I'll just get a bunch of 2-prizers to that so they can't hit me. Kind of sick. Nice. Giratina Vstar. I'm so sick of seeing this card. I've got 4 boxes that I opened of the set, like physical boxes, and I got 2 of this guy, but I didn't get a single one of the V, and I want the V. I don't need the Vstar. It's got 2 dark energy, 1 colorless, big bang arm, 250 damage. Does 10 less damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. Does have the V-Star power Hazard Star though, so during your turn you may make your opponent's active Pokemon paralyzed and poisoned, and between turns they take 3 damage counters instead of 1. So effectively you can do 280 if this is at full health. They're paralyzed, so if they can't manually retreat, and if they don't have a switch, then it comes back, does another 30, puts them up to 310. So if it's like a Arceus V-Star with a big charm, it'll get knocked out. Doesn't quite take out VMAXs though. but I guess you could run it with Radiant Sneasler and bumps it up a little bit more. You do 16 damage counters, meaning it's guaranteed 4 prizes. But a lot of people run a lot of 2 prizers anywhere, especially for the attackers. So you think just getting 6 prizes in 1 turn is not bad. Not getting 6 prizes in 1 turn, really. I don't think anyone would complain about that. And speaking of the Radiance Hisuian Sneasler, it's got Poison Peak. During your Pokemon checkup, put 2 more damage counters on your opponent's poison Pokemon. So you could combo that with the Giratina Vstar. Instead of putting 3 damage counters, you're putting 5 for the poison. Another Kyurem VMAX. Nice. The full art Snorlax. That's actually pretty sick. I like that. Looks like he's just like smashing back burritos. As if we hadn't pulled one of these yet. So Lost Vacuum. You can use this card only if you put another card from your hand in the Lost Zone, so help set up the Lost Zone engine, and then you get to choose a Pokemon dual card attached to any Pokemon or any stadium and put it in the Lost Zone. So you could effectively be using this just to get 2 cards of your own into the Lost Zone and set up Mirage Gate, or to be like messing with your opponent a little bit. There we go. This is the good one. So Trevenant V kind of messed up. It's better than the V-Star, and it's like the silver bullet for Mew. So if Mew's still seeing a lot of play, it's just an easy one-off to chuck into decks. Has the ability Wild Style. This Pokemon's attacks cost 1 colorless less for each of your opponent's Single Strike, Rapid Strike, and Fusion Strike Pokemon in play. So if you're up against Mew, you know they really want to have a bunch of Genesects out, as well as the Mew, which are all Fusion Strikes. They've got 4 attacks free, 190 damage. Does do 60 damage to one of your own Pokemon, but you're hitting weakness into it, doing, what's that, 380? They're going down, even if they got Orios. Alright, let's see Goodra Vstar. I just want 2. Is that so much stats? Oh, that's pretty sick. Full Art Fantina. Gonna be honest, haven't seen this one yet. That's pretty nice. I feel like it's usually like 3 or 4 of in decks though. Don't think I'm going for a playset of it. Another Revolo. Nice. Full Heart Delphox V. I pulled the regular V a while ago. I kind of skimmed over it because it's pretty meh. Eerie Glow, 1 fire energy. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now burned and confused. And 2 fire and a colorless. Magical Fire, 120. Put 2 energy attached to this Pokemon into the Lost Zone, and you do 120 to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. It's not bad, but like, I don't know, those numbers just feel like they're just missing a little bit. Like if it was at least 150, then it's like, okay, you give it a choice belt. You're doing 180, you can be knocking out a Crobat, or you give it a telescopic lens, and it could be knocking out a Crobat. What do we got here? Orbeetle. So jamming attachment. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you can attach up to 3 energy cards from your opponent's discard pile to your opponent's Pokemon in any way you like. So kind of funny way to be messing with like Palkia Vstar. They want to be obviously accelerating water energy out to specific places. You could just be like, well, it's gonna go on that Sobble, and that Sobble. Not sure what else you'd really be messing with, but that's pretty cool. Aerodactyl Vstar, 1 fighting, double colorless, lost dive, 240 damage. You put the top 3 cards of your deck into the lost zone. It's a bit greedy, but then it also has the Vstar power, Ancient Star. Until this Pokemon leaves play, it gains an ability that has the effect to your opponent's Pokemon be in play, except any Aerodactyl Vstar have no abilities. So, sort of like a Path to the Peak, but it's only messing with your opponent. It's kind of cool. It is an attack though, so I don't know. I feel like it should have just been an ability and like had some sort of downside to it to balance it out. Like need X amount of cards in the lost zone to use it type thing. Machamp, another very solid card if you play Gym Leader Challenge. Crisis Muscles, if your opponent has 3 or fewer prize cards remaining, this Pokemon gets a plus 150 HP, bringing it up to 300 health on a single prizer. It's a little nuts. And then 2 fighting energy for Strong Arm Lariat, 100 damage, plus 100 more damage if you do during your opponent, or you may do 100 more damage, and if you do during your next turn, this Pokemon can't attack. Definitely one I'll be adding to my fighting GLC deck. Trainer Gallery Chandelier, it's got the milling ability, and then we got Porygon Z, so downgrading Beam, evolve one of your opponent's evolved Pokemon by removing any number of evolution cards from it, and they shuffle it back into their deck. But interesting attack, but on stage 2, we'll see. Because I guess the idea with that is you could have it with the Porygon 2, and if you're not quite getting a one-shot on the something and they move it to the bench, you evolve up into the Porygon Z and just devolve their thing off the bench. It gets knocked out when it devolves because it doesn't have enough HP remaining. Drapion V full art. Nice. Another Pidgeot V. That's what, 2 of the reg, 2 of the full art? I'll take it. Another Delphox and Mirage Gate. Almost out of play set of those. What we got here? Dustox, double colorless Nadir powder? Not sure if I'm saying that right. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused and poisoned. During checkup, they take 8 damage counters on instead of 1. It's kind of cool. Scale it up with Sneasler, so they're taking 100 instead. Another Aerodactyl Vstar. Nice. I want to like that card. Like, I feel it's got potential, but it also just feels like lost zoning the top 3 cards of your deck is pretty big trade-off. Iskin. So draw 2 cards. If your active Pokemon has Hisuian in its name, draw 2 more cards. Potentially goes in Hisuian Zoroark. Another reverse bolo. Have I even got a whole hollow of this? No. No hollows, just reverse. Take it. Vileplume. Mega Drain for grass and a colorless. Does 50 damage and heal 30 damage from this Pokemon. And Allergy Storm, 90 damage, flip a coin. If heads during your opponent's next turn, they can't play any supporters. If tails, they can't play any items. That's kind of sick, actually. How many packs did I get? I got 150. And we've got 68 left. A little bit over halfway. See, I got 4 boxes and then a couple packs from League yesterday. Reverse damage pump. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Another Comfy, almost at our playset. One more of those. Got 10 Colress. Yeah, Colress Fortitude. Oh, you already got your playset. Firearm. So it's got Scorching Aura during your opponent or during Pokemon checkup. Put 4 damage counters on your opponent's burn Pokemon instead of 2. Kind of interesting concept. If we get any Vs or Vstars that do burn and like just shy of the numbers, be an interesting way to scale it up. You have no cards. I thought you opened like 40 locked packs. Another Colress. Wild Barracuda appeared. Ooh. Yeah, if you guys played the Pokemon community game, I added it to the stream. Well, it looks like we've got a Barracuda if you want to jump on that. And if you haven't played it before, just go down into the like about info thing. When you scroll down on the stream, it'll tell you how to get started out in it. You got 3 Colress. Well, if you want a 4th, let me know. Just set up a trade with me. Send an energy my way or something. Darkrai. Nice. Got 1 dark, 1 colorless. Nightmare. Does 30 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep. And Pitch Black Blade. 130 damage during your next turn. This Pokemon can't attack. Kinda cool. Another coin. Full art of this one. Rainbow. You'll eventually get the cards you want in the future. For now, just working on favorite card / deck. Fair enough, man. We're at 3 playsets of it now. You've been trying to make it work since Brilliant Stars. The Mewtwo V Union? Have you tried the control version of it? Another Drapion Vstar? Sableye. For a Psychic Energy, you can use Lost Zone if you have, or not Lost Zone, Lost Mind. If you've got 10 cards in the Lost Zone, put 12 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon in any way that you like. Pretty solid. A couple guys at League were actually running like a single prize Lost Zone box, and that was kind of like the main attacker in it. Tried the controlled version of it. Don't like it because now everyone is expecting to be up against Miltanks. Yeah, fair. The reason why it was good then was because Sander brought a deck that nobody was prepared for. Yeah. Like, it's still a really solid deck. Like, the fact that it can put damage counters out, heal, like, it's got a lot of options, but yeah, I feel like a lot of people are prepared for Miltank, but at the same time, it's been seeing a bit less play, so I feel like people have kind of taken a step back from prepping for it. Like, I know on my Goodra list that I had the other day, speaking of, well, my Goodra, it was one of those things of like, well, I need an answer for Miltank, because if I don't, all they have to do is go, okay, here, Miltank, what are you gonna do? So I have like the Aegis Slash in it, the V rips right through Miltank, and then the V Max is just really good for taking out V Stars late game. Alright. Need some Goodra Vstar. So at least give me one. I'm trying to think V-Stars, what are we even at? We got a Giratina Vstar. We've gotten a couple Aerodactyls. And a couple Drapions. Eh, double Mimikyu. He's mimicking you. Alright. That's a hit. Alright, Alt-Art Giratina V. Abyss Seeking, one colorless. Look at the top 4 cards of your deck, input 2 of them into your hand, put the others into the lost zone, and shred 160. Not affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. It's pretty nutty. There's a lot going on there though. Maybe I build Giratina? We got a 1-1 line. Our first Zoroark. Hey, oh, for some reason I thought there was a full art of it. So it's got red, gold, and rainbow of the V-Star, but just the regular V? Are they making it a promo? And our first Gengar too. Need a couple more of him. I've got a pretty good idea to do Torterra with him. Another Goodra V? We're at what? 4 Vs? No V-Stars? So close. Alright, I think that's the playset of Comfy though. We take it. We take it. Another full art Snorlax. I think this is our second of this guy too. Yeah. And a Scorched VMAX. That's like such a sick art. I love how they're doing the trainer gallery. Like having it in the reverse slot, you can get double hits. You get like boxes are so much better now. Like you're getting multiple Vs, multiple VMAXs, and things that are out of print are potentially getting back into the sets. Like Charizard from Vivid Voltage, Centiskorch I think was also Vivid Voltage or Darkness Ablaze. There you go, Charizard, speaking of. Like the fact that they're not only making those cards accessible to people just getting into the game, but also having just like awesome arts, and they're not super hard to pull. It's pretty sweet. Another Radiance Deluxe. I want that card to be good. I'm gonna try and find a way to make it work. Like it with the Basque Legion is obviously the play, but how you get it charged up is what gets tricky. Like I guess Metal Sauce or Raihan. Giratina V? What are we at now? 2-1. Actually not far off from being able to build that. Or at least like a turbo variant. Oh damn. Didn't realize she was in this set. Another Drapion. Nice. Yeah, I'll do a giveaway for the full art. We'll see. I don't think you need more than one. Another Trev. Halfway to a playset to do some shenanigans with the spooky tree. There we go. Alright. I literally just need one more Goodra Vstar and that deck's ready to go. I'm pretty pumped for that. Did you take a look at the list I posted for Fortitude? Yeah, what'd you think? Yeah, the Goodra. You got any feedback? Let me know. Always open to it. But definitely keen to test it online. Felt kind of bad playing it at League because like ran into a few Arceuses and it was like use his attack, take 80 less. Play a Fantina, take 120 less. Like, all right, Trinity Nova, I dare you. This is right here. Another Steelix and a Basculegion. We get the combo. The Steelix, destructive finish, 60 damage for 2 steel and a colorless. Discard cards from the top of your deck until you only have 1 card left. Does 30 damage for each energy you discarded. And then the Basculegion for no energy. Upstream Spirit does 20 damage for each basic energy in your discard pile, and you shuffle them back into your deck. So you can just kind of be like chaining off of each other. Interesting, you're running loss on cards. I was thinking of Melanie Acceleration most of the time with Metal Saucers and running Bronzong with Metal Transfer. Okay, that's actually a kind of sick idea too. I like that. Having to set up 2 stage 1s though can be a little bit awkward, but I can definitely see that working. Not a bad shout. Another Aerodactyl. Nice. The Magnezone V. The hard Palkia counter. Magnetic Tension. Switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active Pokemon. This does 40 damage to the new active Pokemon. Essentially the idea is if they have Manaphy on the bench, you bring it active, you do 60. They're Lightning Weak, you do 80. And then you evolve into the Vstar. It has, I think it's for 2 Lightning, you do 90 damage to 2 guys on their bench, take out 2 Drizzles. Pretty cool idea. Yeah, that's fair. Very similar to the Dialga setup. But you're just swapping Goodra for Dialga. Definitely a cool idea. I like where your head's at. The Giratina V. Alright, so we got 3-1 now. I think one more V-Star and that deck's like ready to go. Getting a lot of these doubles where it's like the reg and the rev. Kinda sick. Another Drapion. On the reg Goodra. Have you seen this guy yet? I feel like this would kind of be up your alley. Metal Lodging, prevent all damage done to your basic Pokemon that has any steel energy attached to it from your opponent's Pokemon V. Like you could be doing just silly shit with Zacian and Zamazenta. almost, but more to the situation where you actually use heals on the Goodra to stall it even more. So you have to either use Radiant Greninja or Gardevoir, so get yourself even more damage reduction. There. Yeah, I liked it with the Radiant Gardevoir. Because like when you do the attack, Fantina, and the Gardevoir, it's like, alright, I'm taking 220 less damage. There is the Aegislash from Rebel Clash. That's your Pokemon take 30 less damage. But it's a stage 2, so it's a little awkward to get set up. Another Nessa. Sweet. Alright, we're in the last 10 packs. Can't believe I haven't mentioned this Raichu yet. So it's got Thunder Shock, 30 damage, flip a coin. Active Pokemon's paralyzed if it's heads. Also Ace Spark, 100 damage. You've used your Vstar power, it does 120 more damage, so 220, you can be taking out Vs. With a choice belt, 250, and you can play a Leon to do 280 and be taking out V-Stars with the single prizer, which is a pretty handy attack to be able to get going. Wild Skidoo appears. How does this work? I think you just go catch? Or do you have to like specify what Pokeball you use? Gotta read up on it a little bit more. $17 Colress so far. Yeah, Clefable's just from Dragon. Which, like, if you're seeing a lot of Goodras and Giratinas, it's not bad, but we're at a 2-3 line of the Aerodactyl. Like, you're V-Star, why can't you be Giratinas? Why am I not at 3 Giratina V-Stars? Yeah, if you're just going for hard damage reduction, you could be doing like Osity, but I think Crystal Cave's probably the better shout. There we go, we got the second V-Star. We got the playset. Pretty happy with that. And Zoroark V? No V-Stars yet. Yeah, well, like, no Vs are able to touch the stations. They just have to, like, gust up the Goodra. It's like, okay, you gusted up my Goodra. Now my Zacian can attack again. Thank you. Alright. Don't have very many coins, because, well, makes sense. I haven't really played nearly 2 months. We'll use the coins, get 2 more packs. Maybe we get that last Giratina. Mostly all attackers are V Pokemon? Yeah. A fair few are, a fair few. Like, if you match up against Giratina, they just don't evolve, right? They stay as the basic Giratina. Third Zoroark V, nice. And just use the Shred attack. But if they're doing that, then they're in range for your Zacian to be like, okay, well, you hit me for 160, I swing for 230. Nice.